Do you know why Aquaman never plays a musical instrument?
I don't know.
He prefers to sing aquapella.
The greatest DC Comics show on YouTube. Fanboys Live and the Retro Review.
Welcome to the greatest DC comic show on YouTube, Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. Thank you so much for spending your Sunday night with us. And I don't want to forget this because I think this is very important, okay? So I'm just going to start up from the beginning. Before I even introduce, my co-host, today is Julie Newmar's birthday, which is why I'm wearing the shirt that I am, and she's 93 today. So I want to say happy birthday to Julie Newmar. And in honor of your birthday, here to sing happy birthday is Signature King.
Pass.
Okay.
I was not prepared.
That's all the budget could have allowed. But happy birthday. Isn't she fantastic, SK? We love Julie Newmar, don't we?
Yeah, who doesn't?
She's great. Yeah. I mean, she influenced a lot. Like Michelle Pfeiffer says, Julie Newmar was the influence for her Catwoman.
I believe it. I can see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy birthday, Julie. Love it. So I'm Ryan Magic Lasso. Great to be with you. Signature King is always here with me too. How have you been? How was your week? Any comic hunting? Any comic shopping?
I just picked up my weekly poll. Nothing extreme.
Did you get that new Firestorm issue?
Yes.
Doesn't that have that A cover? First of all, is amazing, and secondly, I didn't buy one, but I paged through it. It looks like the artwork, because it kind of looks like maybe it's a flashback to a memory from the JLA satellite in the 1980s or whatever, and the artwork matches it too. It looks so cool.
It does.
Yeah. So what have you been doing with the rest of your time all week since we saw you last?
Oh man, I got birthday parties and pool parties and all kinds of home projects to do. Tidied up the office. I was on a live stream yesterday with Rob's Fat Stack, so that was a lot of fun. Just a lot of busy work.
Okay.
But sometimes busy work is good.
Busy work is good. Yeah, absolutely.
What about you?
Oh, let's see. Just working a lot and working on trying to make some better things happen in my life. And one of those got a good go-ahead green light, which I'll talk about in the future. So
I like green lights.
Yeah, green lights are good. So that's what I've been doing. We have a special return guest. It's been almost a year since he's been with us. Can you believe that?
A year?
Almost. It's been like 11 months. It's crazy, isn't it?
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah. Usually he has a commitment where he can usually pop in at the beginning and stay with us for a little bit, but then has to go and do his own D&D show. But tonight there isn't a show, so John's Comics with Friends is with us. How are you?
I'm doing well, gentlemen. How are things?
Good. I can't believe it's been a year since you've been on this show. Probably because I do shows with you.
That doesn't sound like the math is mathing on that, but we'll let it happen.
Yeah, it is. What's going on in your world? How was your week? Have you been comic hunting?
A little bit. I've been trying to buy things for the mystery box I'm giving away from the Omni X-Men big prize pool to our friend Impressed Comics. So I'm purchasing little things here and there to kind of build that up. And then just reading comics and much like the Signature King, I was working on the house, doing some things around here, landscaping, if you will.
Okay.
Landscaping's good.
Yeah.
As long as the weather cooperates.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. You want the weather to cooperate. So, well, it's great to have you guys here tonight. And John, you love Julie Newmar too, right?
Who doesn't? Let's be fair.
Yeah, she's awesome. I want to say hi to our live chat. If you're watching on the rewind, first of all, hello to you. And thank you so much for spending some time with us. We do appreciate it. In our live chat, we kicked it off with Ruben Guzman, Ruby G, White Tiger Cool, Calm Collected, Muabunga Boy. Hope you're doing well. And then John doing double duty is also in the chat with us tonight. We got a big meow to the Jackson Roykirk. How are you? And he's saying, he's staying out of the heat. we have the art of Alan Shell. So, of course, Alan's awesome. John, have you done a Cover Lovers with Alan yet?
I have not.
You need to. I know he told me, I'm not just saying that, he told me before that you were on his list of people he'd like to get as a guest.
Oh,
so you'll have a fun time, because Signature King and myself have both done it already, and we've had good times. So
It was fun.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to that. And it looks like I'm MEAT-ing up.
That means you're going out for barbecue.
Oh, barbecue. Okay.
That's a meet-up.
Yeah. Kenneth Bird is here. Can't do a show without Kenneth. Always appreciate you being here. I was going to say something about that too, and I just paused. So
this is a family-friendly show, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Behave yourself.
All the ads to the contrary.
Yeah. And Retro Toy Princess is with us. Hi, how are you doing? Great to have you back with us too. Thanks for stopping by. So let's talk about DC Comics news. I know there's some news, SK, that I don't like.
Oh man, there's news I don't like. There is a ton of DC news. None of it is very positive. Starting off here, some cancellations in terms of shows that are going no longer moving forward. They've been officially scrapped, and that is Paradise Lost and Waller, which I was looking forward to. I was looking forward to Waller.
Was that going to have Viola Davis?
Yes, it was.
Oh, see, anything. Look. I mean, anything with Viola Davis, you can sign me up. That lady can act.
That was a home run casting for Amanda Waller.
Oh my God, so amazing.
Home run. One of the best things that comes out of that universe was Amanda Waller.
100%. Yeah.
And I was on board. But that was.
Yeah.
I didn't really know who she was until Suicide Squad, and I was like, oh, Amanda Waller.
Once they let her have like a full curse-laden tirade in that film, I was like, wow, let her just go.
Yeah, right. And she came back for Creature Commandos, and then James Gunn announced she's also coming back for Waller. So I was like, heck yeah, this is gonna be great. Unfortunately, no longer moving forward. Same with Paradise Lost.
Paradise Lost makes me sad.
If you haven't seen her in the movie The Help, that she is phenomenal in that movie.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Great performance. Yeah, she's just great in everything.
You won't look at chocolate cake the same way.
This is true.
Or chocolate pie.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I'm scared now. Some more bad news here. So Warner Brothers is going through a big merger, or not. Nobody seems to know.
Right.
But apparently Warner Brothers has told James Gunn, no Wonder Woman, no Batman, no Flash until further notice. You can't cast anybody. You can't use them. Just the characters that they have already announced. That's it. That's all you can play with. Until further notice. So
quickly plan a Lobo versus Superman movie and let's just roll the dice.
You might be onto something. So if you recall, Superman Man of Tomorrow is like stacked.
Yeah.
With it might as well be a Justice League movie. And I think that he was told that a long time ago, when they first started talking about the merger, and we are just now hearing about it. But which is why all the characters that have pretty much ever appeared in a DC universe are going to be in this movie.
Right.
So maybe this is new news to us, old news to the studio. I'm just guessing. I have no idea. But who knows? But that's pretty sad. Couple of positive things I want to highlight. Lanterns starts tonight.
30 minutes, man. It's in 30 minutes.
In 30 minutes, I'm going to be watching it. As soon as the show's over, I'm going to go watch it.
I thought Tony was going to watch it in the middle of his review.
Time out.
Yeah, it's going to be the watch for me tonight as well.
I think I'm going to watch it too.
And if you guys recall, let me pull up the article because I want to quote it perfectly. Might help if I could spell. Yes. Okay. So this needs a little bit of context. So Zack Snyder was spotted at the Warner Brothers studio, but that doesn't really mean anything. You know what I mean? Warner Brothers puts out a lot of stuff, not just DC stuff. So not really that exciting. And then he teased that he was finally home referring to Warner Brothers and throwing a rock that had the number 106 on it, which is his studio, his brand, his company that produces movies, Studio 106, right?
Okay.
Again, not particularly exciting, intriguing, but not particularly exciting. He was showing some footage from another movie, Excalibur.
Okay, he's
to
doing
them.
a King Arthur movie.
Yeah, and that's not DC related, so I was like, whatever, no problem there. And then out of nowhere, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Negan for The Walking Dead,
Right.
puts out a tweet.
Or Bruce Wayne's dad, right?
You hit the nail right on the head. Tweets that said, Thomas Wayne, it's happening. It's real.
Oh, shit.
From Jeffrey Dean Morgan himself. So all this lines up within like 3 days of each other. Snyder's at the studio. Snyder teases his production. Jeffrey Dean Morgan says, it's real. Thomas Wayne, it's happening.
Yikes.
So is Mr. Snyder back doing DC stuff? Maybe he's just producing something with
Maybe.
DC. Who knows? But Jeffrey Dean Morgan kind of confirms that he's in talks maybe to play Thomas Wayne. I don't know. But that's kind of exciting. What do you guys think?
I mean, I am not the biggest Zack Snyder fan, so I don't feel the need to go back to that well. I do know that there are hardcore fans of his universe, including, as I understand it, some of these potential Paramount purchasers are big fans and might potentially want to invest in that as an option. I feel like that well's pretty solidly dry, but that's just my perspective on it.
I think people forget that when it was active, they didn't like it.
Well, and other than the two Aquaman films, and I guess maybe Man of Steel, those films weren't super successful. They definitely struggled to find a broad audience. Aquaman, I'm still blown away by how well those Aquaman films did all around the world. Like,
yeah,
I think on the DC's like ticket sales, Aquaman comes in 7th all time. It's
the first Wonder
insane.
Woman did well.
Yeah, the first Wonder Woman and Aquaman were remarkably successful by
I like
DC
the Aquaman movies
standards. Yeah.
Mhm.
But they really, it was amazing how much they struggled with like some of the other films to make them successful, considering how much more money those budgets were than the Aquaman film, you know.
Let's say hi to Olivia. Hi, Olivia.
Going back to Jeffrey Dean Morgan's too, he reveals that he was also almost cast as Lobo.
I like him. I certainly I could get him as the dark Batman that Thomas Wayne is in like that universe, the alternate universe or whatever. I could see him playing the dark Batman.
Look what Alan says. That's interesting.
I thought they were coming out of a Zorro movie. I don't know why.
It's been a few different things, but yes,
I
remember it as Zorro. Yeah,
I remember it as Zorro.
And I don't want to forget to say hi to Tony too. Hi, Tony.
Oh, hey.
Hope you're doing
Hello.
good. Other Tony.
Oh, okay.
Wolfie.
Okay. There you go. I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah.
Well, I'll wait until it's super confirmed to get overwhelmingly excited.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, right. But I'm at least intrigued. I'm at least intrigued enough to continue to follow it. Again, I'm not going to hold my breath.
That the biggest hurdle in him being successful going back and just continuing where he left off is that the cost of those actors is going to balloon those budgets. You know, you think about what they would have to do to sign Henry Cavill to a Superman deal right now and what that would cost.
Especially
and then you throw Ben Affleck or whoever else in on top of that.
Especially since the rumor mill right now is saying that Henry Cavill is attached to X-Men.
And the budget is going to be massive. And then it's like, how do you recoup if the movies are just middlingly successful? How do you recoup a budget that's that ballooned?
And by the way, John, that rumored X-Men role for Henry Cavill, Magneto.
I'm not sold on that idea.
Yeah, I don't
What
know
they're
if I like
saying.
that.
But anyway, go ahead.
I forget what I was going to say. Yeah, I think the problem with modern day films, not just superhero movies, like the studio sets a goal, and if you meet that goal by a certain percent, okay, you move on to the next round. Or
Right.
if you just come in at goal, it's considered a failure, even though you made the studio money.
It's because there really is no second and third tier markets anymore, right? I mean, you used to think about like go to video retailers and you would get all this new money from rentals, and then you would go to HBO streaming or HBO pay platforms, and then you would go to commercial television, and at each tier you could recoup another chunk of your loss. But now it's like you got to make your money back first weekend, and that's it. Like, because there is there's no other market for this anymore, which is
opening
crazy.
weekend. That's it.
But there was always that, like, oh, the movie came out for purchase and people would buy it, and it's at your video store and people would rent it, and that was like this secondary market where a lot of small films could, and they could recoup their losses in a more variety of ways.
But I agree. Like, there's a lot of pressure on movies to do well right out of the gate, and
it's crazy.
It doesn't help other movies when a movie like Spider-Man comes in and absolutely destroys at the box office on like the first 2 days.
Right. It basically makes $1 billion in a weekend.
In a weekend, and then DC sees that like, well, we could do that with.
Yeah, they start
Supergirl.
making that the benchmark, right? That's the norm. We all need to achieve success at that tier. Right?
But I've been saying this forever. DC expects the same results that Marvel has without putting in the work that Marvel put in and all the other previous movies to get there.
But the benefit Marvel had was when movies like Aquaman and Thor were coming out, it was a totally different world for theaters, right? It was a different time. So you could have smaller films. I think it was Matt Damon. I always quote talking about how like most of the films he made coming up wouldn't get made anymore. Like there's no room for the cute rom-com or the the lawyer film, the legal drama, right? There's so many little genres that have like faded away because there's no space in theaters for that. It's all got to be like big name properties, huge budgets, tons of special effects, and we'll make our money back first weekend.
Yeah, I can only imagine what the next 20 years of filmmaking are going to be.
It's bizarre. I mean, clearly the most talented writers and actors are moving to other mediums. Right? You got these, we'll just do 9 episodes of a television show and that'll be it, and we'll move on to the next thing. I mean, that I don't know. It's crazy. It's disappointing because you think about all the great films that I remember seeing Matt Damon in before he was like big, right? And it was like Courage Under Fire with Denzel Washington. What a great movie that was. Or Rainmaker, Francis Ford Coppola's legal drama. Like all these little films that like, nah, we're not going to make those movies.
Yeah. Another piece of news here.
Does anyone want to answer Olivia's question?
Oh, do you think Lantern season 2? If we get a season 2, we don't know.
At this point, there's a ton riding on it, right?
Yeah. I think that there's a lot riding on this for James Gunn. Because if you have, it's sad to say that Supergirl was a bomb, and it was a pretty decent movie.
Yeah.
You have that failure, and if Lanterns fails, I think it's someone's coming in and cleaning house.
I have a ton of high hope for Lanterns. I loved the Watchmen TV series that was from Damon Lindelof, and now he's come over here with all this enthusiasm. I'm hopeful he got a lot of freedom to be creative and push the envelope and make something really special. So I've got a lot of hope for it, but will audiences turn out and make it a must-see TV kind of thing? I don't know. Time
will tell. Yeah. Ask us next week.
Yes,
there it is. But I do love the casting and the visuals I've seen so far. So I'm hyped for it.
They even put like Sinestro in the trailer, and that was cool. I'm excited for that.
I love it.
That for sure.
I know it's not Mark Strong, but it looked good enough for me.
I like Mark Strong Sinestro.
Everybody does, yeah.
Yeah. So someone pointed out, someone who works in the movie industry pointed out the big time executive producer directors like James Gunn, they get signed to contracts based on not a yearly basis, but it's good for like 3 to 5 years, which is the standard. James Gunn's 5-year anniversary is coming up.
Uh-oh.
And what the industry practice is, they renew that contract a year out.
Mm.
Not often, or not all the time, but that's pretty standard, a year out. They have not renewed his contract, and his 5-year is coming up very, very soon. So someone pointed out that this might be due to the merger, that they need to wait in the dust to settle to see where things are going to go, which makes sense from a business standpoint.
How many films will he have turned out in that 5-year period? Because is it just Superman 1, 2, and Supergirl, or are they counting Clayface? Are they counting any of the other like Penguin, Batman, sequel stuff?
I don't know. That's a good question, but there is someone.
I think it's just the 3 super films is all that he's going to really have under his belt at the end of that 5 years.
So he himself has announced 10 movies, and as of today, they're at 4.
That are in production at some phase or whatever.
No, they're done. So we got Superman, we got Supergirl. We'll have Man of Tomorrow. We'll have Clayface.
Okay, 4. So he's counting Clayface. Okay,
he's counting Clayface. So once that's done, Clayface and Man of Tomorrow, like that might be it. I'd be so angry if they.
I love that trailer. That Clayface trailer was fantastic. If they could make it a really creepy, like body horror film, I think they could make a ton of money.
Someone pointed it out, like, we're getting this cool Clayface movie, but we don't even have a Gotham City yet. We don't have a Batman yet. Like, we're getting his villains before we're getting Batman.
Right. And is this going to be part of Matt Reeves' Batman universe, or is this going to be a separate Batman universe?
They did confirm it's not Matt Reeves' Batman, but some people are speculating that this could be its own bubble.
Okay.
Which, in my opinion, would be very stupid. But who knows?
Who knows, right? Yeah.
There's a lot of people complaining that James Gunn is known for taking his C-tier characters, and turning out movies or whatever. Like that shtick is getting very old.
Yeah.
How many people were banging at the door for a Clayface movie? Probably 0.
Right. Right.
I would,
but I do feel like the DC film universe has been super narrow for a really long time. It's been very focused on Superman, Batman. Like there's nothing else. And we got a couple of Wonder Woman movies, a couple of Aquaman movies, and a Flash movie. But other than that, it's just been Superman, Batman. I think they do need to stretch their wings a little bit here, but I just don't know if he's picking the right properties to do it.
That would be my critique. To Greg M. Hey, Greg, thanks for stopping in. We appreciate you.
Like I always wanted him to do a Booster Gold Blue Beetle road trip movie through time, like through space and time. They're gonna bip around, and you
Bill and Ted style.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted it to be Luke and Owen Wilson back when they were a lot younger. Like I was like, just throw those guys in there, let them muck it up, and have a blast.
Ted Kord Blue Beetle. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
That would be fun.
And those two. I mean,
that could be a good movie.
It would be just comedically. I think they would have a lot of fun and play around in that corner of the pond a bit.
That would be, I would watch that movie. That would be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun.
That's exactly it, Paul. It would be like a buddy cop through time and space to fix a problem that Booster probably made. Let's be honest, right? And it would just be fun and funny and a popcorn kind of movie.
Hi, Big O.
You could call it Blue and Gold or Gold and Blue or
100%. Yeah, I would 100% call it that. Yeah, sign me up.
But we'll see. Like I said, there's a lot of negativity for DC right now. There's a lot of questions in the air. James Gunn expressed his dislike for the incoming partners that are coming. Maybe, I guess that hasn't been settled yet. So it sounds like he might not want to be part of that universe. It's fair. What is it? Paramount taking over?
It is. Yeah, it's Paramount. Very concerning for sure.
Yeah,
you don't want monopolies hurt everybody for sure. So it's concerning. You never know,
especially if you're bad at it like me.
You flip the board over. I'm
the board flipper.
I wanted the top hat. Damn it.
I have some news. Do you have anything else, Tony?
No, that's it. I just wanted to let you know that Lanterns tonight after the show. Go watch it.
Yeah, cool. One quick thing I wanted to mention. I think it's great that we have John on when this comes to this, because John is an omnibus reader and an omnibus collector. So this was what I'm about to show you was originally going to be the cover for the Bronze Age Justice League omnibus for Volume 4.
which is kind of the like style they have for a lot of those. They're silver in the Silver Age, bronze in the Bronze Age, right?
Yeah. And this comes from a real cover. But
Okay.
not only have they changed the release date from, I think it was October 4th, now it's going to like November 17th. They've changed the cover art. So this is what it was going to be. Let me show you what it's going to be now and get your thoughts, okay? That's our new cover art. What I think is interesting about this is there's a lot of JSA members because this cover comes from a JLA JSA team up. Like the Superman there, that's the Earth 2 Superman.
Yeah, it's
so
the
I think
older
it's an interesting
Superman.
choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
I like it. I think it
Okay.
makes a better poster than a book cover, though. Like that would be a cool poster. I would definitely get, but
And that this was
nonetheless,
a cover too.
it appeals to some people. But I'd give it a solid B-.
Okay.
And would you scroll back up to the other one real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
like
that
that
I
one.
can see the faces a little bit better. It's not as cluttered as the other one. Just as far as like, you know, aesthetically.
Yeah.
I do like the artwork a little better as far as the faces and the drawing, but it just is, it's a little bit harder to see.
Yeah. So incidentally, if this is something you're interested in, tomorrow is FOC cutoff date on that. So just pass it along. Okay. Any other news before we segue into the retro review?
Nope. Lanterns tonight. Watch it. Be cool. Come on, guys.
So we let our special guest tonight pick our retro review, and you've been reading a lot of early, well, I don't know if it's even fair to call it early, at least early Silver Age Aquaman.
Yeah, as is true with our friend the Magic Lasso, he talks me into a lot of purchases. This is the DC finest Aquaman, King of Atlantis. It's basically the volume 1 of so far. They don't. There's nothing preceding this or predating this in their line yet. 1957 to 1962, and it's mostly shorts, right? It's the backup stories that he appeared in, leading all the way up to his showcase first kind of like cover title appearance kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's a few issues from the Nick Cardy solo series when he has his self-titled series. But the lion's share of this is like adventure comics.
Yeah. So tonight we're going to give you a little taste of 2 of the backup stories. Then we'll do the showcase story, which was like a tryout to see if he could get, you know, his own series. And it obviously went well enough because he did. And we'll do issue 1 of his first series. So the first, John, you're going to take our first 2, and they're shorter stories, starting with an appearance in Lois Lane from 1959.
I will tell you, when I read this, I immediately messaged Ryan, and we ended up pulling silver-haired Bronze Age babe into this to just be like, look, this might be the most ridiculous comic book I've ever read. Like it is high on the list. So of course I have to share that joy with the Fanboys friends here.
Okay, take it away.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a Lois Lane storyline that as always they kick us off with her like a little splash page to let us know kind of what's going to happen. And yes, Lois becomes a mermaid. So we see her sitting on the whale chatting away with Aquaman, and of course her biggest concern is, boy, I got all these handsome superheroes, how could I ever choose? But no, I really love Superman the most. Then we see her, she's on vacation in Hawaii. She is going to go what they call skin diving. I have not heard it referred to as skin diving before, but we'll let that happen. She tells the person she's with, no, don't wait for me. I've got the little skiff here. I can get myself home. I'm going to go down by myself, because she's obviously a well-trained scuba diver. She gets down there and the ship rolls because of a sea quake, and she gets trapped under the mast and seems to permanently damage her legs. And she's saying, I could call for help. I know Superman just flew by because he's doing an event apparently in Hawaii. But no, it's Aquaman who comes to the rescue along with his octopus Topo. And they rescue her only to discover, yeah, her legs are just destroyed. We need to get her to a doctor who's been out in this area, of course, an incredible surgeon who spent a year on an island, because that's where you learn to be a great surgeon. So Aquaman rushes her in, and the surgeon says, I don't know that we can do anything to save her legs, except, you know what? I got this crazy Dr. Moreau idea that I want to try. We could remove her legs and make her a mermaid, because that could work. We could save her that way. Aquaman's like, okay, yeah. I mean, nobody else is here to sign this paperwork for her. Well, I'll sign off on this. She's in a coma. She wakes up feeling like, oh, I feel so great. Oh my God, what happened to my legs? Why can't I breathe? And Aquaman's like, oh yeah, after we did your legs, we decided we should probably do your lungs too, so that you can breathe underwater as a fish, because that's what you need as well. So you got a lung transplant on the house, basically. So they dive into the water. He's like, let me show you around. This is how I roll. And she's like, wow, it's pretty cool. I don't know how I'm going to adjust to this. She's definitely feeling a little apprehension in this new life. He's like, look, I can make my animal friends bring you treasure from the bottom of the ocean. Come on, like, check it out. It's pretty dope down here. I can talk to the animals. Look, we've got furniture. She's like, okay, there's some beautiful creatures down here. He runs up and he's rescuing ships and helping out. And she's like, he's pretty handsome, but he's no Superman. That's basically all she feels about this entire thing. She's not worried about her legs or any of these things. She's just worried about how Superman's going to feel in the end. And that's when he flies by. Superman comes soaring by with the giant American flag on his way to some important event that he's doing. And she starts breaking down. She's like, oh, I don't want him to see me this way, but I can't stay away from him. So she swims over to apparently where there's this thing of wood floating so that she can get a view of the event where he's apparently got women fawning all over him at this thing. And then he says, oh, I've got to go rescue a submarine. I'm going to fly off. And she's like, oh man, I hope he doesn't fly this way because I don't want him to see me. So she hides her fishtail and acts like she's just out for a pleasure swim in Honolulu. And she's like, oh no, it's no big deal. Even though she can't breathe, because she does need to get underwater and catch her breath. Superman's like, okay, you're acting a little weird, but I'm gonna go take care of the submarine problem. So he flies under the ocean, rescues the submarine, and then just flies the submarine home. Meanwhile, Aquaman pops out of the water and he's like, I can see it in your eye. You clearly aren't happy. I've got to do something. Look, this is your new life now. You got to trust me. You can be happy here with me. I can make you happy. So he scoops her up and then basically starts taking her on an underwater ride. He's like, look, like we can ride on sharks. And all she's doing is thinking of Superman whole time. All she's doing is thinking of Superman. And then, underwater volcano. There's some depth charges, that go off, and they knock Aquaman unconscious, and she's got to rescue him. And with the help of Topo the octopus, they basically try to find a way to help him. And they're catching some of these depth charges, and they're trying to figure out a way what they can do with these things. So they start throwing them into this volcano using the electric eels being blown through the spout of a whale, because that's the best way to accomplish that goal. So they're doing all of this to incite a volcanic eruption. And Superman sees it because he's hanging out with some surfers, but he does see this. And so he swings over to blow out the volcanic eruption, only to find Aquaman is now rescuing Lois Lane. I know in your head you're saying, wait, wasn't he unconscious and she was saving him? No. Now she is unconscious and he is saving her. And he basically confesses the whole thing to Superman. He's like, look, I made your girlfriend a mermaid, and I tried to keep her under the sea with me, but she's not happy, and there's nothing we can do about it. Superman's like, I'll take her to the doctors. I know what doctors we can take her to. So he flies her to these other doctors. The doctors say, look, I'm sorry, Superman, we're the greatest doctors in the world. We haven't been studying on an island for a year, but we're pretty good. Like we can't do anything. Superman's like, malarkey. I'm going to read every single book in this medical library at super speed. Then you can test me. And they do. They test him and he knows everything. He has now mastered all medicine. He has learned the entirety of the medical fields. And he's like, good. Now I'm going to do a super surgeon, super speed, and put her legs back. And of course he does. He fixes her legs, throws in the lungs at no extra charge, and flies her home like nothing ever happened.
All right, I have a lot of questions.
Because comics, right?
First of all, starting way back at the beginning, she gets her legs pinched, right?
Yeah.
How did she go unconscious?
I don't even know, man. Yeah.
Were her lungs in her legs?
On top of which, if you look at the drawing, those gams look just fine.
And then going all the way to the end, where did they just happen to have spare set of legs laying around?
Well, whose legs? That's a very good
Whose
question.
lungs?
Yes.
Whose lungs?
They really do gloss over the lung surgery on both ends of this. I do feel.
And I gotta say, Aquaman's the villain in this story. Like that was not okay.
No, I definitely feel like there's some questionable decisions. I am wondering if later on in comics, does Superman ever perform other surgeries? Because clearly he's got all the knowledge now to perform any level of surgery.
I think he does.
Right?
I want a series of like Superman MD.
Forget Trapper John.
So,
I mean, I know it's comic logic, but just like, come on.
Yeah. I also think the big hero is clearly Topo the Octopus. Like that's
Topo the Octopus for president. Yeah.
Yes, always.
But Aquaman got knocked unconscious, and he wonders why he gets this rap for being a lame superhero. He's in water too when he gets knocked out, I think.
I mean, crazy. But then he comes to, and she's all of a sudden knocked out, and they don't really do a good job of explaining how that flip happened.
That was my next question is, back when did this come out? 59, you said?
59.
It would have been,
59? So were women in the 50s way more delicate? It seems like,
it's all that skin diving.
Obviously in comic books, the whole damsel in distress thing, they're always just like,
right.
And then they faint,
But she's doing like underwater photography in scuba gear all on her own, telling her guide to just like, yeah, you head back. I got this.
Isn't that like one of the rules of scuba diving is take a buddy?
There it is, buddy system.
I'm from Iowa, and I know that. Okay, we're about as far away from the ocean as you can get.
Facts.
Yes, Superman does perform surgery in other comic books throughout the years.
Oh, I'm glad to know he didn't just get those degrees for nothing.
Yes. Fainting octopus. I love that.
Yeah, I read that story. It was like, this might be the most ridiculous comic book I've ever read. And I laughed. I enjoyed it wholeheartedly. I bought in hook, line, and sinker to the whole thing. I was like, okay. Each twist was even more ridiculous than the next. And when Superman went to medical school, I was like, okay. All bets are off.
I do think that Silver Hair Bronze Age Babe said that she was going to do a video at some point on that story,
I think we need to have the entire community making videos.
I think we should too, yeah.
Backup story.
Yes.
And you got to think, like, if Superman has that ability to just learn about one specific topic, wouldn't people go like, you couldn't have done that earlier?
How many areas of knowledge? I mean, at this point, he could learn everything there is to know in the universe, right? He could just learn it all and be completely knowledgeable.
What a super jerk.
Yeah. What is the next story you picked out for us?
I went with a little more straightforward story. This is from Adventure Comics 260. It's one of the many times they retell Aquaman's origin, and I just really enjoyed this one. I wasn't completely just laughing at the ridiculousness of these stories. This was a great, Ramona Fradon is someone that I'm not super familiar with until I started diving into this volume. And she is incredibly talented and did, I would say, the lion's share of this DC Finest volume is her work. Yeah. Nick Cardy obviously comes in towards the end, and he'll be the lion's share of the work in volume 2. But really, this was an issue that I felt like highlighted her talent in a big way.
Okay, so let's take that one away. Also 1959, same year.
Right.
Is it right away at the beginning,
John? It's the backup story, as always. He's never the primary.
He's not going to be the first.
Right.
It's called How Aquaman Got His Powers. And it's got him in front of a fish tank with like swordfish and stuff.
All right. The Tootsie Roll ad. All right, I found it. It's right after the Tootsie Roll ad. So Aquaman can't even go in front of the Tootsie Roll ad.
Okay, take it away.
Yeah, so as always, we get that little splash at the beginning to let us know kind of what the story is, and it's showing us how a little Aqualad, little boy Aquaman, was kind of being like taught his talent of being Aquaman by his father, the sea captain, sea voyager. But then we jump to the present, and we see a ship yet again throwing depth charges into the ocean, and Aquaman realizing they have atomic warheads attached to these devices, and he's got to figure out a way to solve this immediately. So he gets some electric eels together, and then he starts riding on these things like straight out of Doctor Strangelove, and he's diffusing the atomic warheads from each of these, and then he uses the whales to like push these bombs down to the depths and basically stop them from detonating. Then he immediately goes on board the ship and he's like, yo, guys, this is not the place to be doing your atomic testing. And the captain's like, what? We got everybody out of the way. We planned this for so long. This has got to be the place. And Aquaman's like, all right, well, let me tell you a story, Captain. Reason why you can't detonate your bombs here. And the captain's like, all right, but it better be good. And Aquaman's like, well, it's my origin story. And then the captain says, great Scott, Aquaman. Nobody knows anything about your past. You've always kept those facts about your origin a mystery. And Aquaman says, right. Now 2 people will know the truth, you and I. My story begins more than 20 years ago on a lonely island. And we get this really beautifully drawn set of panels here where we have Aquaman's father, of course, in that scene that they captured beautifully in the Aquaman film as well, capturing the stranded soon-to-be wife, Atlanna, as she gets washed up on shore in a storm, and he rescues her and carries her into the house, and then immediately she's got a baby. Like they kind of skip over how that happens in the middle, but we all kind of can figure that out on our own. But yes, she will sit at the dock of the bay, looking longfully towards her old home. And then they tell some stories of accidents that happened, like the time Aquaman apparently fell off the ship and fell overboard. And they were like, oh, dear Lord, our kid is going to die. And he's just swimming along happily. And mom does not seem fazed. Then they talk about the day that he stuck his head up. He struck his head, at the age of 2 while swimming at the age of 2. Aquaman struck his head against a derelict ship and sank out of sight for an hour. Parenting, right? He sinks to the bottom of the ocean, and by the time they get to him, an hour later, apparently, he's playing with a turtle and having just a grand old time. And again, mom not surprised. Or the day he was found playing with sharks in the bay, because you know what? Why not? He's petting the shark is loving it, and dad's freaking out, and mom's like, it's not that big a deal. I won't tell you about it yet. But then the very next panel is on the sad day when mother lay dying on her deathbed. Now she's finally going to confess her story. The fact that she comes from the city of Atlantis and yet had curiosity about the land above. And of course, there was only one punishment if you ever were caught going to the upper lands, and that was exile. And so she was banished. And of course, this led her to be so tragically upset. But she says, you, my son, have inherited my ability to live underwater. You have the power to communicate with sea creatures and to perform great water feats and to become the ruler of the oceans. And then she dies. And they're like, okay, well, that kind of sucked. You could have told me that earlier. We could have had some discussions about this, but whatever. So dad decides to build a giant fish tank and just keep filling it with critters and see if his son can control them. Like dangerous things that might kill him. But turns out it works, because all of a sudden, little Aqualad, he's like manipulating these creatures and he's able to communicate with them. And dad's like, this is pretty amazing. Then one day they find a giant squid trapped under an old Viking ship. Aqualad basically talks these octopus into rowing the ship and freeing the squid. And before long, all the other animals hear of him, and they get this like Lion King moment where all these different critters have to swim by Pride Rock there underwater and acknowledge their new king, Aquaboy. And it's like, wow, okay, this is legit. I do have some agency here. Then it just continues to go at an incredible clip later. He's swimming at incredible speeds, diving off of the lighthouse, even when dad kind of tricks him into need to be rescued. He's learning how to do all these incredible things, even swimming to the deep depths of the ocean to meet these incredible creatures down at the bottom. And it says here, one of my favorite lines, and once a year I went to a school on the mainland to take an exam. I always amazed the creature with my knowledge of the sea. and he's basically listing for her all the 150 North American species of shark. And she's like, amazing, simply amazing. And apparently that's how you pass school back in these days. You just recite seafaring information, and that's all that they need. Yeah, that's it. And then from there, he basically starts to continue his journey into becoming Aquaman. His father passes away, and they have a military funeral at sea for him. But it all comes back to the captain. The captain says, wow, I appreciate your trust in telling me your secret, which I will never reveal. But what's it got to do with my atomic bomb tests? I love all of it. I love that the captain's like, okay, dude, that was a really long-winded story. What the heck? I thought you were going to get to a point here sometime. But that's when Aquaman says, the city of Atlantis is directly beneath this area. That's why I need you to do your testing somewhere else. And the man says, okay, I won't tell anybody. We'll go test our bomb somewhere else. And then Aquaman says, one day maybe I'll return here. Who knows? And then he swims off.
He couldn't have just said that? Like, hey, dude, there's a city under here. And it would have been, 100%. Yes. This could have been a 3-panel story. But instead, he reveals his entire life story to a captain who's probably like, damn, buddy. Like, I just want to get back to my missiles test here. It even looks like that on his face if you look real close. Like,
I love his reaction. He's like, what the heck, Aquaman? You're telling me the story for days.
And Aquaman's like,
is there a point to this?
He's like, no, there's one final secret, and I have to whisper it to you.
Yeah.
But you told him, so he knows. So do you have to drag him down to Atlantis now?
Yeah.
Apparently.
I don't understand.
So there you go, gang. Aquaman's origin retold.
Okay. So our next stories are going to be full-length stories. Starting with Showcase was really a tryout title for DC Comics, where they put people on, give them like 3 issues, and they'd look to see how the sales did. And if it did well enough, they would get their own series. So we're going to 1961 when Aquaman got his first of, I think it was 3 consecutive issues.
It might be 4. I'll double check.
Might be 4. Okay.
They're in this book. I'll double check.
Okay. And it's Showcase issue number 30 from 1961. We got our cover there. As you'll see, we'll have Aqualad in today's story. Aqualad actually came before Mira, believe it or not. So
wow.
All the stories
it is 4. Yeah, it's 30 through 33. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks. So I'll get us kicked off on this. Our first page splash we'll look at real quickly. The creatures from Atlantis. Aquaman is wondering, are these creatures from Atlantis that are attacking him? That's the question. We'll find out. So as the story starts on the next page, the ship has been hit by lightning and it's caused a fire. And they realize that if the fire hits the hull, they have very rare poison that they're hauling. And if it spills, the entire area will be contaminated. And they're like, there's no one here that can help us. But unaware to them, Aquaman and Aqualad see this cargo ship is on fire. So they board the ship to find out about the poison. And they're like, well, all our fish friends, will pay the price for this if we don't do something. And Aquaman's like, we will do something, Tadpole. And they jump out and they get to work. So by getting to work, they're calling upon, Aquaman's using the aquatic telepathy now. He's getting whales that are going to help spread the fire from going out, and pushing water up over. But what are they going to do about the interior fire that's going on inside there? The swordfish are going to make an entrance into the vessel for them. So what they do is then use the octopus, and they keep passing with the octopus's tentacles, one to the other, all of the poisonous contents, so they can get that out, which they load aboard the whales. And the whales are going to take that with Aqualad leading that cargo to the captain's port where he's supposed to be. So that's going to avert that problem. So while Aqualad is taking care of that, Aquaman goes back to his aqua cave and he says, I'm going to make some lunch. So when Aqualad comes back, we'll have something to eat. And then, I'm going to make some lunch.
There's all this logic. I love it.
Yeah. But just then, he's getting an SOS from a lanternfish. And he's like, I wonder what it is. Shades of Davy Jones. The SOS was sent to me from Atlantis. And he's like, Atlantis, yes, I know what that is. And Tony, we're going to go real fast over these next few pages because it's really a recap of just what John did with the origin. Some of those panels, if you look at them, they're redrawn.
Exact same ones, yeah.
They're redrawn, but it's the exact same panels. So we get the history of Aquaman's mother meeting his father, how baby Arthur, they just still don't include the part where the spaghetti sauce got stirred.
Nope,
but
no spaghetti.
Yeah. Baby Arthur knows how to breathe underwater on the next page. He can play with the sharks. And then, of course, the mother is dying. So she reveals what truly happened, how she's from Atlantis. She had curiosity about the outside world. So she got booted out. And then Aquaman goes on to think on the next page, after she was gone, when I was still learning about my powers, I realized that just kind of with a command, I could just stop them. You can hit the next page. And they would halt. And he's like, that's how we knew we could kind of communicate with the fish. And now someone from Atlantis, where my mother is from, wants to talk to me. I wonder what it could be. So you can.
I love that panel with all the whales there. So good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's got some detail.
That is good.
And I love the angle. It's a lower angle than the one we get on the other book. I feel like it's a little more intense the way they do it this way.
Yeah. So on the next page, she's like, okay. And he starts heading to Atlantis and he gets captured. So we kick off chapter 2. He is already locked up. And these people who have captured him are worried that he might have learned their secret, although he hasn't yet. But he knows if I don't escape, Earth itself will be doomed. So Great Neptune. Atlantis has been turned into a vast prison camp by these strange creatures. What does it mean? As he goes to ask the man that he's being brought before, he kind of realizes this must be the leader. And the leader's like, you don't talk to me, for daring to address me, you will do twice the work of any other. So off with him. So we see that he's being put to work like the other people from Atlantis are. And they remind him, see what he's doing? You have to do that twice. You have to do twice as much because you dared to be so bold. So, in the middle of his work, he's talking to some people from Atlantis, and he's like, well, what kind of happened? And they're like, well, it was this terrifying sight, a hole had opened up in the water and creatures were hurtling through that. These creatures created a pathway from one dimension to another. And that's when we said, let's get Aquaman so he can help us. And then Aquaman's like, well, what is this machine being built for? And they're like, they won't tell me. So hit the next page. And Aquaman's like, well, one thing's for sure. They got to be up to no good. I must send for help, but how am I going to do this? And he says, look, seaweed, a little bit has managed to sneak in through the hatch. I'll be able to help summon someone now. So he sends a message to take out to give to Aqualad that he's going to need help. So in the meantime, his captors haven't noticed that he's been gathering some information, but Aquaman still needs some more information. But in the meantime, his message did get out. Before it got to Aqualad, he summoned some sea creatures, and they started to attack the dome to try to get in and free, but it's not working. And these creatures are aware that they're being attacked by an army of fish. And they're going to fire at them, and they do, and it looks like it's hopeless, and everyone in Atlantis is doomed. You can go to the next page. And as the work shift changes, the slaves are given a moment to sit and rest, and Aquaman's like, if we could only find out what this machine is for. He's like, well, I see these long tubes that are being stacked up near Trino. He's one of the bad guys. So Aquaman's like, put me in this tube and put it as close to the creatures as you can get it. So they do. Next page, Aquaman is able to overhear what their plan is. They're going to use this ray that this machine is building that will melt things. It will melt vessels and buildings and stuff. And once they conquer the sea, they'll take it into the air and melt buildings and stuff. And it won't be long before they will conquer the world and have all of the world's treasures to themselves. So he knows they're going to conquer the earth, and he's got to figure out a way to stop them before this master weapon is completed. But Aquaman is discovered and he's placed in solitary confinement so he can't inform the others of what's going on, because
Foiled again.
they might refuse to work even against our threats of doom. They're like, why don't we just destroy him now? They're like, why bother? He can't harm us. When this weapon's completed, we'll destroy the whole sunken continent if they try to stop us. So Aquaman is caged up, and he notices from this lengthy bit of time that he's caged up that the aliens opened the hatch during the changing of the guards, and that massive seaweed was able to float through. So, and a little guppy's in there, so maybe he can get a message out to Aqualad. And Aqualad apparently has gotten the message, and he's shown up with a swordfish, and that he camouflaged with the seaweed to be able to get in there. And the swordfish starts to get him out. And great news, Aquaman. The creatures took the completed machine and they've left our continent. And Aquaman's like, no, that's bad. We're too late, Aquaman. They're going to the surface now to capture the Earth. Gee golly, what will we do? So we will go to chapter 3 right now, and where the showdown really takes place. And Aquaman summoned with his aquatic telepathy some more of the fishies, and he says, even if we have to use every fish in the ocean, in the sea, we will stop them.
No, he doesn't need all of them. He just needs one.
Yeah. So he sees a couple of marksmen that are standing on guard on the vessel that the aliens are in. So full speed ahead. They got a tough fight against them. These people standing guard see Aquaman and they get ready to fire, but you can hit the next page. But the tentacles from the octopus come up, grab a hold of them.
Which octopus?
Oh,
it's Topo yet again.
Topo. You go, Topo.
The day. Look at him.
Yes.
Look at him. Topo's a king.
So they're like, pull them down below before anyone else sees what happens to them. And Aquaman takes the guns from them, and they're like, hey, only someone who knows the combination, the secret combination, is going to be able to fire it. He's like, well, you won't be firing it then either, because I'm taking it, and Topo's keeping you down here. So Aqualad and him come back up, and we need to take them by surprise. There's a sunken World War II ammunition ship close to the ocean floor nearby. So here's what we're going to do. And they whisper, whisper, whisper. So now remember, all weapons must be fired at the same time from every different direction. And that's going to be the surprise attack. So with the other fishies and creatures in the ocean, followed by Aquaman's aquatic lead, they all start attacking at the same time from all different directions. Inside the ship, they realize that they're under attack, and they're like, oh my gosh, we're being attacked, by all different directions. And they're like, well, let's get this ray out. And the ray starts melting things and melts the missiles that they hurl at them, and they don't know how to stop them. And Aquaman spots a lighthouse, and he says, hey, there's a phone in there. We can at least call the mainland and warn them. Oh no, the creatures have destroyed the lighthouse. And Aqualad is like, well, we're really sunk this time. If only we could get close enough to them with our ammunition. And Aquaman says, hey, they know of our mastery over the fish. They'll blast anything that swims towards them. But there's one thing that they forgot. Aqualad, we've got one last hope, but we have to work fast. So minutes later, they're looking skyward, the creatures inside the ship, and they see the birds that are flying in formation like a fleet of airships. But these birds start attacking, a surprise aerial attack by dive bombing seagulls, laying their eggs right on the target. And they're able to, you can hit the next page. They're able to start doing some damage, and the creatures inside are bolting from the ship, and Aquaman and Aqualad are going right down. But all of a sudden, they seem to be grabbed. At first, they think it's trees that's grabbing them, but it's not. It's electric eels. Then Aquaman swoops down with Aqualad and does a little fisticuffs. And Aquaman has figured out that on the belt of the main leader must be the device that can operate their weapons. And he's like, that's what I'm going to get. So he rips that off his belt, and they freak out because they know that that actually is the power source. So that allows them to use the gun to send them back into their dimension where they're wanted criminals, because they thought coming to this dimension would free them, and there would be, they're not wanted anywhere, and this would free them. But he sends them back to their dimension. Everything seems to be good, and back in Atlantis, Aquaman is awarded their highest decoration, the Head of Atlantis medal, And he says, my mother would be so proud if she had seen this. And he bids Atlantis farewell. And they say, farewell, Aquaman and Aqualad. Henceforth, we shall look upon you both as ambassadors to the outside world.
Yeah, it's a bit of a Star Wars moment where, you know,
Yeah.
Chewbacca doesn't get his award. I don't know where Topo's award went.
Yeah.
Somehow Aquaman is the only one. Aqualad even stands off to the side, getting short shrift.
Yes. Let's say hi before while Tony's pulling up his story. Say hi to Matt, who's jumped in. Hey, thanks for stopping and thanks for the nice things that you've been saying. So, and then I saw Rod the Rican jump in. Hey, Rod, hope you're doing well.
He's on that Signature King trajectory right now. He just hit 8,000 subscribers.
That's awesome. He deserves it.
It's quick. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Now we'll jump another year. We'll advance another year from the showcase. I think we're 1962 right now for Aquaman Volume 1, Issue 1. And this is going to be Signature King's review.
Yeah. Boy, you guys want to talk about comic book logic, comic book physics. This is the book. And yes, they are underwater breathing fire.
They're fire trolls, Tony.
Yeah. It's funny. The show Teen Titans Go did a really funny, they read this book, but they didn't read it at the same time, so they made up their own story.
Okay.
Aquaman and Aqualad are getting ready for the whale prom, and they're decorating, and then the trolls come. It's really funny. You gotta
That's hilarious.
It's really funny, but yeah. Here we go. So, chapter 1. Aquaman and Aqualad are riding their whales, as one does, and they are approached by some fire trolls, but they don't know they're fire trolls yet. But yeah, before this whole thing starts, I'm sorry, that's just last page. They are putting together their little hideout, and it's funny because you can see Aqualad in the background. He's assembling some kind of fossil, and he's saying, "Oh, I'm going to put together this old fossil for our private museum." And I was thinking, well, that's selfish of you. Like, we want to learn, bro. But anyway,
you're supposed to be an ambassador to Atlantis, right?
Yeah, right. That's not being a good ambassador, because I'm pretty sure I've never seen anything look like that before. But yeah, Topo's tentacles get tied in a knot. The fossil starts to dance. Some other objects do some other stuff. Very, very crazy. What's happening? There is a sea spirit, and his name is Quisp. And he says, Aquaman, Aqualad, I need your help. There's some fire trolls coming. They've destroyed the kingdom, and they're coming this way. You guys got to help us. And sure enough, they look around the corner, and here they come. But the quick-thinking Aqualad says, you know what? This giant fire troll that breathes fire and looks like it's made out of stone, you know what's going to stop him? Some seaweed. So we're going to...
Makes sense.
We're going to do the... we're going to recreate the Imperial Walker walk on Hoth and just tie up their legs. And it doesn't work. So they hop on the back of their whales and they just go ramming speed, but it doesn't seem to work because the fire that they breathe underwater hurts the whales. It makes a ton of sense if you put absolutely no logic into it.
Yeah, I'm with it.
So they reconvene and like, we got to take cover. We got to figure something out. How can we stop these fire trolls? So they say, oh, you know what? There's a military base
convenient
on the surface. So let's go over there. Let's get, and the fire trolls are coming at the military base anyway, which is really funny. So they start shooting at the fire trolls with rifles made out of stone. Why not? But Aquaman starts throwing missiles, and it doesn't work because the fire trolls are able to go into this ball-like state where they really condense their density. In the missiles just bounce off, do no damage. So the fire trolls land on the beach. They're melting everything with complete disregard. Huge problem. So Quisp says, hey, hop on, I've got an idea. Quisp is able to use his powers, get everyone kind of away. and they're talking to the doctor. The doctor, I don't know why, but he's got this special freezing spray, aka a fire extinguisher. That'll help, right?
Yep.
So they're gonna go after these fire trolls with this fire extinguisher, essentially. But it doesn't really work. They're able to get close enough, and Aquaman and Aqualad are going to distract the fire trolls by throwing starfish at them. I don't know if that's really a distraction, more like a minor inconvenience.
Whatever you can do, right?
Yeah, which as soon as the fire trolls turn their heads, Quisp hits them with this fire spray, fire extinguisher, but it doesn't work. They're able to just, kind of shrug it off, but they manage to upset the fire troll and now demands blood as it chases down Aquaman and Aqualad. Quisp uses his magic to shrink them about 3 inches high. That's a problem.
It is.
Remember that.
Yeah.
So they're trying to figure out how they're going to take care of these fire trolls when they're just a few inches high, when they are all of a sudden attacked by a scorpion. So Aquaman is able to fight off a scorpion with a thistle.
Yep. Honey, I Shrunk the Atlanteans.
Yeah, right? Oh, man. My kids just saw that movie, by the way. They like it. The first one, the good one.
Yeah, the original. Oh, yeah.
With the cream, the oatmeal cream pie. That was always my favorite part of the movie, the oatmeal cream pie.
What about the giant cereal? Eat your Cheerio? That
Yeah, right.
giant Cheerio.
It sounds like a fun world. But yeah, he's able to stab the scorpion one time and it goes running off. So sure. They're growing weak, okay? They need water. And they stumbled across a Jeep and they said, hey, there's got to be water in that radiator. But it's being guarded by a lizard who attacks them, and they're able to fight it off with a pair of needle-nose pliers, which I thought was pretty comical.
Clever.
It is very clever. Lizard goes flying. They jump in the radiator, and big problem, it's empty. Whatever shall they do?
Curses.
So they just happen to notice this seagull, pelican thing, running away or flying by, and it's got a fish, and no doubt it's probably going to have lots of water in its mouth. So Aquaman gets the attention of the pelican. It drops its water and its fish to attack Aquaman and Aqualad, but they seek refuge back inside the radiator, and now they're back. Okay, they got their strength back. They're in the water. They can move forward from there. So we cut back to the trolls who have now stolen all the rockets and missiles from this military base, and they're walking back into the sea. Well,
and the shrinking was temporary. I guess they just slowly grew back to their normal size.
Yeah, the shrinking was temporary, but it doesn't show you them growing. They're just all of a sudden, boom, they're normal.
Yeah.
But it turns out these trolls are taking these missiles and rockets, and they're going to blow up this volcano where the rest of the fire trolls are, and they're going to take over the world. And Quisp says, hey, we can't do that. We got to stop them. I don't know what to do. But Quisp is able to get their attention again, and they go back onto the surface, and Aquaman's hitting them with this useless fire extinguisher spray with the help of his trusty flying fish. So with all these flying fish, they're able to carry this full-grown man and spray these fire trolls and get their attention, while Quisp is able to shrink them with his magic. And I was thinking, you couldn't have done that earlier again.
Yes, yes. I'm glad you caught that the same way I did.
Yeah.
Could have really used that from the beginning, Quisp.
Right? Where were we on that one, man? You're the villain now.
Killing me.
So they grab these little tiny fire trolls that look like the size of G.I. Joes, and they stuff them in this metal ammunition can, and they bring them down to like a big trench, and Aquaman calls on all his sea creature friends, and they're just packing this trench with rocks or whatever, so they can never escape. But then, and that was kind of it. The story ended. He thanks Quisp, and they both go their separate ways. But then I remember Quisp said that the shrinking was temporary.
Yes.
When Aquaman and Aqualad were shrunk, I mean, we gotta imagine that time was like maybe 45 minutes.
Right.
So these trolls are gonna grow.
That's a problem for another issue, Tony.
Essentially, within the hour, they're gonna be fighting these guys again.
Correct.
I don't understand it, but yeah, that's the end of the issue.
Okay, so what do we think about this Aquaman that we've been reading?
A lot of these stories were, they were for a different demographic within a much different time period. So it's hard for them to hold up. So I want to say our standards in 2026.
Do you think a kid back in
1959
to 1962 was just super duper excited for this?
Yeah, I do. Because,
yeah. Especially
TV
imagine being a kid like Tony, who's like nowhere near the ocean. And these books are so vibrantly colored, and you're seeing these underwater creatures that seem like they're from an alien story or something.
I would have thought they were real, but like, what? People look like that? There's people under the ocean?
But like even the whales and the squids and the turtles and the fish, and it's like it's so wonderfully colored and drawn. And I think as an escapism, it's very Jacques Cousteau kind of thing for a kid.
Does Aquaman deserve the bad rep that he gets?
Yes.
I would say yes, but no. It depends on who's writing him, obviously. There's some people who write him very campy, like this is very campy. It's very Adam Westy Batman.
Yeah.
That's what sold back then. And then you cut to like a more modern Jeff Johns New 52 run, who makes Aquaman seem super badass.
Yeah.
It depends, but
I mean,
don't know
I always
which
loved
prefer.
him as a Justice League member. Like, in that way, I feel like he's like Wolverine and the X-Men. I like him as a small dose. I don't need him as the lead. Like, I like him as an element of a group. And I thought Wade's Justice League used him well. And I think I will say this is a tricky area for me to read, and it's been slow to get. I mean, I'm almost done with this entire volume. It's a lot of this kind of Silver Age stuff, but these 4 stories, I think, were just fun. Like even 49-year-old John could read these and laugh and find it very clever and amusing and point out all the ridiculous things that Tony and I are like, well, wait, come on. Where's the logic, right? But at the same time, also just be wowed by what Ramona Fradon and Nick Cardy are bringing to the table, and the color work. I don't know who the colorist is for this, or if they did their own coloring at this particular phase. Maybe it's in here somewhere. But it's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous color work. It says all art by Ramona Fradon, and it doesn't mention a colorist at any point. So I will give them credit unless I hear otherwise.
So my question is, John, then at any point in reading this DC's Finest, were you like, why did I spend my money on this? And part 2 of that question is, are you going to pick up next year's volume 2?
The answer is yes to both questions. There was definitely several times when I was like, okay, you know what? I need a break. I got to read an independent comic. Where's Image Comics when I need them? And I could read an Image comic 10-issue trade in 30 minutes. Yet, in 30 minutes, I was just barely trudging through some of these because of all the dialogue boxes. There were definitely some stories that I was like, okay, this one like just hurts to read. And I preferred the more ludicrous, like the Lois Lane one, when I was rolling laughing. Like, this is hilarious. Like, as a comedy sketch, almost, it's like satire.
I wonder if that's how they intended it.
I had to think that I feel like Lois Lane, the few issues I've read, all kind of feel like that. And I would love to maybe go and read more of those, because I've only read maybe 3 or 4 of them.
I'll say that I think that changes on Lois Lane as the times progress.
Yes, because obviously she has to be taken more seriously.
Yeah.
It's incredibly misogynistic book, but like as a time capsule of like humanity at the time, men writing what a working woman is. I think there's a lot of humor to be had there. But then at the same time, yes, I definitely want to get the next volume, and I wanted to get deeper into the Nick Cardy era. The Ramona Fradon stuff has been a joy, and it's been kind of fun to see a woman working so prominently in comic books at the time and making so many. I mean, she did so many issues of his early appearances.
Yeah.
But I'm also excited to see kind of what Nick Cardy adds, because I did the two that you and Tony did were the Nick Cardy issues, and just as incredible. The artwork and the coloring and everything was just really stunning.
Matt, to answer your question, besides my favorite Wonder Woman, what's my favorite DC Silver Age title? That would be Justice League of America. And I happened to do a monthly show with someone on this panel.
GTFO.
Yeah, I know.
Wonder who it is.
Yeah.
It's you.
So yeah, it's Justice League probably. I do like the Teen Titans from Silver Age,
which also had a lot of Nick Cardy.
Yeah, it did. It had a lot of Nick Cardy in it too. So he's not surprised that I picked Justice League because Wonder Woman's in that. So,
and I will say I don't read a ton of Silver Age. I've read more Silver Age comics with Ryan probably at his behest than just about any other setting.
Yeah,
just because I got to do it in small doses. Usually, it's a lot to put my mindset, like Tony was saying, in that like kid in the 60s. Like, can you disconnect your 49-year-old brain enough to be able to be like, no, this is, can you, what's the perspective of a kid reading this, And my daughter, my youngest, Charlie, loves this stuff. Like, I gave her that Supergirl Silver Age Volume 1 omnibus, and she was like, this is hilarious. I love this. Give me more of this.
Yes, thanks, Matt. And I know that you've been in the live chats and stuff too. We appreciate that. Yeah. So anything anyone wants to say about Aquaman? One little interesting piece of trivia. Tony, the issue, you read Aquaman Volume 1, Issue 1. 24 years on the same month. So not the same date, but the same month. Aquaman Volume 2, number 1 came out.
Okay, wait, you lost me there. There's too much information.
Okay.
You're saying that issue came out 24 years ago this month?
No.
Oh.
Aquaman Volume 1, Issue 1 is the story that Tony read.
Yes.
24 years to the month of its original publishing, Aquaman Volume 2, Issue 1 came out.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and Volume 1 wasn't terribly long. It was like, 80, 70 something issues? It was short.
There was a time where it was canceled, and then it was brought back for the Bronze Age, and they resumed the numbering like they did. And then the DC implosion happened. And what happened to Aquaman, while his title got canceled, he still survived because he got moved over as the headliner of Adventure Comics for a while. So he was still around. It makes
sense because he was in so many backup stories in Adventure Comics. I mean, that again, like the majority of this book is just Adventure Comics backup stories. Like it's just packed with them.
Well, he'll eventually become the headliner for Adventure Comics.
He deserved it. He put in the time. Yeah,
he did. So one story that I haven't read, but I'd be interested in is the one where Aquaman and Mera's son gets murdered. So,
ooh, spoiler.
Yeah.
Is that in the solo series, the Volume 1?
No, that's in yeah, it is, but it's at the end of the Bronze Age.
Got it.
Run of that, I believe. Yeah. There's some really good covers. I'd like to get those. So cool. But founding member of the Justice League, Super Friends member, had his own cartoon in the 1960s.
You're talking about Topo, right?
Yeah, Topo.
Yeah.
So, interesting. Did Gardner Fox ever work on Aquaman? I don't
Not that I'm aware of
hearing that.
Yeah. I know that the first half of his self-titled series was Nick Cardy, and the showcase issues were Nick Cardy. I don't know who took over for Nick Cardy when he moved on, but that would have been somewhere around issue 40, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right. As we transition into the book show, we'll take a moment to answer Olivia's question. What's your opinion on Indigo Lantern Corps?
I mean, I love all the colored lanterns that Jeff Johns brought into play, and but I am Star Sapphire. That's where I go.
Yeah.
Pink Lantern all the way. I loved when Wonder Woman got to have the Pink Lantern. That was cool.
SK?
More of a Sinestro core or Red Lanterns are two of my favorites. But I don't think the Indigos get a lot of attention. I think they're probably one of the more underrated core within the lore, especially since they're pretty heavily tied to Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
Which is still pretty cool. There's some great runs out there.
I just purchased, I know the In Stock Trades has the Blackest Night Omnibus. I just snagged that this weekend.
Nice.
So adding to my Jeff Johns Green Lantern Omnibus collection now.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best Green Lantern sets of stories out there.
Yeah. And I was disappointed that the 3-volume set of his Green Lantern run didn't include a ton of the Blackest Night other issues, the tie-ins and all this. So I'm glad to have it as its own omnibus and have its own thing. And now I need to get the Sinestro Corps War one.
Nice. So we're going to segue over into our book show portion. And John, we'll let you go first. You can talk about your channel, which, by the way, there's a link to John's channel. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. You can talk about your channel, what you've had on your channel, any upcoming appearances, and then do your book show.
I mean, the next week on my channel is going to be very Marvel heavy, so X-Men fans can rejoice because I got a video coming tomorrow on the casting news that we just got from D23 that was so exciting. I got a review for the season 2 finale of X-Men 97, so those kinds of things are dropping. I usually have a video every Thursday, and then I try to do other stuff scattered throughout the week. Tuesday night, I'm hosting a Black Panther omnibus discussion with a couple of friends, Justin from No Good Comics and Daryl from Read Your Comics, and we'll be looking at Christopher Priest's time doing the Black Panther storylines. And then hopefully Wednesday night, I'm hanging with my man Whitewell Comics, and we'll talk about some new indies that have been coming out lately. And actually, we'll hit on a new Black Label Vertigo Return of 100 Bullets. So we'll dive into some Brian Azzarello.
Nice. Cool.
I pulled a few slabs here. One definitely in keeping with our theme for the evening. This was a gift from my friend JP Budget Collecting.
Oh wow.
It's my only Aquaman slab. I've been getting most of the run raw. And by that, I mean, I don't have any 1 through 10, but I do have a scattering of issues from 11 up.
No, you have a 1 through 10, don't you?
I don't think I have any from 1 through 10.
I thought you did.
I don't believe I did.
I thought you had like a 3.
Do I?
I thought I
if I did,
I thought I sent you a 3.
Did you send me a 3? I don't think
I thought I did.
Oh, good Lord. Maybe it's in the box you're putting together for me.
Not putting you on the spot at all.
I mean, they're right there in that box behind me. So I just would have to clear everything off to look at it. But yeah, this was an incredible gift from my friend JP because he knew I was down to only a couple of keys left in the run. This one and the first issue that we read tonight are the two big kind of keys that I don't have yet. So it's very nice of him to send me that. And then in honor of the Lanterns show, I pulled my 3 Green Lantern slabs for you guys. I know Tony will be happy. I got Sinestro.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Nice.
And one of the most random pervy Green Lantern covers.
Yeah, right.
But such a great character. I need to get issue 9, which is his first cover appearance, next. That's next on my list. But I'm going to wait for the show to cool down a little bit because then that book might be reasonable.
Yeah, it's white hot right now.
For sure. This book I way overpaid for. It was at the height of comic pricing. So I've learned a lesson to slow it down a little bit there. I've also got, of course, sorry, I like the angle there. Nathan Fillion himself, Guy Gardner, classic. Just I'm standing over Hal Jordan. I beat him up cover. Can never get too many Hal Jordan knockdown covers. And then lastly, of course, the man himself, Jon Stewart.
Nice.
The one I'm most excited for. I mean, I like Hal Jordan a whole lot, but Jon Stewart has kind of always been my favorite Green Lantern, and I'm excited to see. I love the casting. I'm excited to see what they do with him in the show. So,
did you know Jon Stewart's second appearance was actually in a Justice League book?
I don't think I did know that.
Yeah. Was
he already joining the team?
Hal Jordan was in trouble, and he's like, "I'll go get
Typical.
the Justice League." So he's able to contact the Justice League. Justice League's like, "Who are you?" So I don't know who you are. So nice. Once again, oh, John, I was going to show you too, just to see if this jogs any memories for you.
You're like, John, here's the video of you unboxing it.
You have that cover, right?
God, it doesn't ring a. I'm sorry. You know what? I'll mute myself for the next share and I'll dive into the box.
Okay. Look at the things I do so I can get credit. Signature King, how many subscribers are we up to now?
21,500 and
Oh my
some
gosh.
change.
Oh
Yeah,
my
and I haven't
gosh.
really put anything out either. So hey,
Are you going to put anything out?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
Then everyone will start to unsubscribe.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I was on Rob's Fat Stacks for Only Slabs. Check it out if you haven't already. It was a lot of fun. Hats off to Rob and the Comic Vet for asking me to come on. It was an absolute pleasure. I love those guys. But yeah, check it out. Book show. I brought a bunch of Aquaman. Some of it's pretty random. So
Okay.
I have Aquaman Jabberjaw #1 signed
look at that.
by Joshua Middleton.
Nice.
A funny cover. Becky Cloonan on Convergence Aquaman #1. And again on Aquaman Convergence #2.
Go back to that first Convergence for a second.
First
Show
one?
that one. Look at how her signature looks like it's part of the crack in the ground.
It does. And it's like, how is that a Becky Cloonan signature? You know what I
I
mean?
know.
Like,
But the thing is, I recognize it when I see that signature. I know it's her.
I do too, but it's like if I didn't know who
Yeah.
it was, I wouldn't know who it was.
Yeah.
Dan Jurgens on Aquaman and the Others. Ooh,
Okay.
big 3D one. Very cool. Mark Morales on Aquaman Rebirth #1. We have John Timms on I forget what volume of Aquaman it is on this foil cover, and John Timms again on this foil cover. So
Nice.
quite a bit of Aquaman. That's
Nice. Okie dokie. So I'll talk a little bit about what's on my channel already and then what's coming up. So, of course, there's the back issue of the week short. And the current back issue of the week was on The Thing, Fantastic Four member. And then my current Lasso Loot video that you can watch right now, Silver Age Marvel #1 issue. So it's always fun when you get a Silver Age #1 from Marvel. And I share that with some other comic books in that video. What's coming, and then I did a Savage She-Hulk Omnibus review with John and JP Budget Collecting. We did that Friday night. That's in my collaborations playlist folder on the channel. We had a lot of fun doing that. So that's what's currently on the channel. What's coming up on the channel, back issue of the week YouTube short, has something to do with the TV show that everyone's been talking about tonight. So that short is dropping tomorrow. Tuesday afternoon, my Lasso Loot video, which is number 298, that has an autograph that got obtained yesterday from a comic book creator. Yes. So you'll find out who that is, and I'll share that in Tuesday afternoon's video, along with some other dollar comics. Sometimes you think, well, a dollar comic can't be a good comic. I got some DC and some Marvel that came out of the dollar bin that are pretty awesome. So some upgrades, some brand new to the collection. So I'll be sharing that. I also do want to mention, I'm getting close to Lasso Loot number 300. And there is a secret that my comic book collection has been holding. A secret that I haven't shared with, definitely not with anyone that's on the panel or in the chat right now. It's not on my CLZ. You can't find it on there. It's something that it's time to share it. So Lasso Loot 300 in a few weeks. Subscribe now so you'll be ready for it. That's all I can say. I can't even share the thumbnail because the thumbnail is 1000% a spoiler. When you see the thumbnail and you'll say, this looks like clickbait.
Good.
Oh,
That's what you need.
isn't.
A good clickbait thumbnail. That's
It
what you
isn't. It's real. So That's what's coming up. For a book show, I just picked one tonight, and I thought I'd tell a little story with this. This is my favorite issue of Aquaman Volume 1. This is issue 18, where
great cover.
Aquaman and Mera get married. Do you have this one yet, John, in your collection?
I do believe I do. Let me.
Cool.
I pulled them all out here. So 14.
So keep in mind that Mera was introduced in Aquaman 13, and by issue 18, he put a ring on it.
Yes, I do. In fact, have it. Yes, I do.
When he first held that up, I thought that $85 sticker was on the book.
Oh no,
not the bag.
That's on the bag. I did not pay $85 for it, just FYI. I am going to tell you something that I don't think I've ever told about this book and what happened. So I bought this book. I got it on, I think it was eBay. Got the book in. That day I was getting ready to go, like an hour away to get groceries and supplies and stuff, okay? And I was cleaning up stuff really fast before I left because I want to have less of a mess when I got home. And the shipping box, I threw in the dumpster, blah, blah, blah. I took off. I'm an hour plus away, like an hour or two later. And I'm like, I don't know if I took that comic book out of the shipping box.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, the more I thought about it, I'm like, I don't think I did. And I didn't. Spoiler, it was there when I got back.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You got lucky, sir.
That was a little heart stop moment.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Matt. By the way, at the beginning of the show, I'm wearing this today because it's Julie Newmar's birthday. So, and the best time to wear the shirt is right meow. Yeah, I seem to know John's collection better than he does at times. I do want to say,
don't bet against Ryan when it comes to my collection. I actually have 2 single-digit Aquaman books.
Let me say this real fast first. You can share a book show with us at home. Go on Instagram and use the hashtag Fanboys Live in the Retro Review. We'd love to see what you want to share. Maybe it's Aquaman. Maybe it's something else DC Comics. That would be pretty cool to see. Okay, go ahead, John. I thought you had 2 single digits.
I have issue 3 as predicted.
I sent it to you. I'm like, what did he do with it?
I put it in the box and in my CLZ and did not remember. And then I have issue 9 as well.
Yes. Very
cool. I have 2 single-digit Aquaman issues now.
And if I remember, you did a video where you're talking about some Aquaman covers you like from the early days.
Yes.
And I made sure that because you didn't know you were getting
it was immediately like, yeah, right after I had posted the video, other books arrived that would have changed that video, right?
Yeah. And I'm like, just wanted to make your video obsolete.
It is 100%. I'll need to redo it at some point.
Yes. So
an eye roll from his wife. That's what we're going for.
Yes, that was the goal. So awesome. So I will say, just as a little bit of an update too. Oh wait, we have a question from Olivia, John. It's a seahorse, isn't it?
It is a seahorse, yes.
Yeah.
He's well, I mean, Neptune is riding it. It looks like a seahorse dragon, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
You'll have to read it to find out what happens.
Yeah. Just an update regarding, we've done a big push on the Comic Book Community Awards. This upcoming Friday evening, the announcements will be made. So if enough people have voted for us, we will become a top 5 finalist. Also, we were really pushing for Silver Hair Bronze Age Babe to be nominated for Best Beard in the comic book community.
Poor Sarah.
It was her idea.
Well, it was kind of my idea.
Sounds like a Ryan idea.
It was my idea, but she embraced it.
Okay,
and I got her several nominations in that category. So
you're so funny.
We'll see what happens, but we will know by next week's show. Either we'll be smiling or we'll be crying.
Yeah.
Well, there's other categories too. A couple of us got nominated for several different things. So.
And I fully expect to see John as a finalist somewhere in the show as well. So
we'll see how bad people think my programming is. But apparently Ryan knows my collection very, very well. So kudos.
Well, I should know that. I sent it to you.
You have access to my CLZ as well.
I
so,
do
you
have
know.
access to. So someone, was it you or I don't think it was you, but someone said, I hope this doesn't mean he can't add stuff into my CLZ. And I'm like, no, it doesn't give you that.
I don't
much
think so.
control.
No,
It doesn't.
I can just navigate it.
Yeah. Well, Alan, we've nominated you, so we wish you good luck too.
I was gonna say Alan Shell is nominated in a couple different categories.
Yeah, I think he is. So, all right. Thank you all for joining us, for watching the greatest DC comic show on YouTube, Fanboys Live in the Retro Review. Fantastic chat. You never let us down. If you watched on the rewind all the way to the end, well, God bless you. These boys want to watch Lantern, and I kind of do too. So we're going to wrap it up and hope you have a happy, healthy, and safe week, and we'll see you soon. Bye for meow. Oh, I have to hit the end. I know we're still live. You know what I was going to do? I was going to just exit the entire stream. Bye.
There you go.